Florida at LSU. I mean, can it get any worse for Florida? I'm pretty sure the
Yes.
entire
Oh,
fan.
it can.
That's true. It could
Oh,
definitely
yes.
get worse.
You ask. It can get and can and will. Try this one. Try this one out. Not only this is why that game sucked for them. That USF game sucked because all right, LSU, and then next week they go to Miami, and then Texas, and then at Texas A&M, and then Mississippi State, who can play a little now, and then Georgia. There's your next few weeks. 2 words: Lane Kiffin. Your new Gator head coach coming off of that.
I don't think he's
run.
coming to Oxford. I'll be honest.
No,
I don't think he's leaving Oxford.
They screwed up. They should have taken him at Tuscaloosa. I agree
with, but I think so. I listened to a great SEC podcast. These guys are all over the SEC. Brooks Austin, film guy, they do a great job. Shout him out. And they're very connected with a lot of the assistant coaches and kind of the maneuverings behind the scenes. And from what they say, that Lane is so kind of on this straight and narrow path now that he's gone sober. And Oxford was a big apparently his community and how he's kind of handled himself in Oxford's been a big reason why he's been able to kind of stay on that path. So they don't think he's going to leave for any other job besides Alabama, which I mean,
I'll tell you this one sometime off the air. We will discuss Lane Kiffin things. The other thing is I've gone down like 4 times now to speak to the Red Elephants Club at Alabama.
Yeah.
And to a person, they're all in love with Lane Kiffin.
Why do you think they won't hire him?
I don't know why they didn't last time. You don't want to be the guy to follow Saban, I think. But that's not really how
DeBoer's learning that the hard way right now.
Yeah, that's not how Kiffin works, though. He's not afraid of stuff like that. He's got a good, but I've always argued. I've been a Kiffin fan, and I've always thought he's got a raw deal. He had the one good year for Tennessee in the midst of a whole lot of blah. He's the one who got USC when they were in the Reggie Bush coma penalty phase, and everyone forgets that they had a huge year, and then they got all the sanctions and screwed him up.
Yeah.
And then Ole Miss. You don't win at Ole Miss. We always assume that Ole Miss is this monster football program. He's had the best run outside of a couple of Arch Manning runs in the '60s and stuff.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin's probably had the best run in the history of Mississippi football. So he's a phenomenal head coach who, when it's his time, when he's ready to go someplace bigger, that's it. And you got to believe that Florida, and if Napier doesn't turn this around, but it could be just Napier enough to pull this off against LSU. I am not 1,000% sold on this LSU team like everyone else is, but I think they do get this done against Florida.
Well, the number's kind of tantalizing you at 7 and a hook, right? They're kind of asking you to take Florida here. I do think Florida is a very volatile team because I think DJ Lagway's upside is to the frickin' moon. The problem is he hasn't practiced because he's been hurt. And the decisions he's making on the field look like a quarterback who is very talented, who trusts his talent, but just hasn't played a lot. He hasn't had the reps in practice or on the field to make those decisions. Like, again, I don't want to get too in the weeds of the X's and the O's, but like he's making decisions that a quarterback at his level should never make. Like throwing the deep post on a route where you're rolling to your right and you're throwing back to your left. And it's like, these are just like boneheaded decisions that you should never make. But I just think he trusts his talent and his experience isn't quite there yet. Here's the problem for LSU, though. A couple injuries this week, right? Tight end, their stud tight end who caught the game-winning touchdown against Clemson, Trey'Dez Green, questionable. And their starting center, which is never a good thing, especially when you have a quarterback that's not as mobile and your running game's been a little bit, down in the dumps lately. I would not be shocked if Florida wins this game. I would not be shocked if Florida wins this game. Now, I don't think they're going to, but I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I'm going to sheepishly go with LSU and give away the points, but I'm not happy about it. There are certain games I would love a lot more, but this one, like you said, if we're talking next week and Napier went Napier and they pulled this off and all of a sudden they're back.
They need to run the freaking ball. Their best 2 players are Ball and Jackson. They're running backs.
Well, and that's the problem with the Napier era is that the assumption was the offense he ran at Arizona State and then at Louisiana was going to kick in at Florida, and it just hasn't worked.